Aidan Devlin, and this is my video presentation from my software engineering assignment. So this is my use case diagram for the ATM app that I'm going to be making. So the app is basically once you open the app, you're shown a map with the centered around the user. The user then where there's ATM displayed on the map as well. The user then selects an ATM and can choose to navigate to the ATM, or they can choose to log in so they can update information about the ATM, or they can register and add a new ATM as well. So to take you through the use case diagram, user opens the app and then is presented with the main option being finding an ATM. So it will immediately display all the nearby ATMs, and then you can navigate. You select one, it'll show more information about it, and then navigate to that ATM via a route that gets calculated. Then once arriving at the ATM, they can give feedback. The feedback is mostly just whether the ATM was operable, and if it was still accessible and that kind of thing. To give feedback, the user must be logged in and have an account. The reason they don't have to have an account for finding an ATM is because there's not really any need. Once they're logged in, they're also able to add an ATM to the database, or they can update existing information about an ATM, i.e. whether it's operable or if it's in the wrong location or that kind of thing. Next we have the class diagram. So the UI and the controller contain most of the operations that the user will be accessing everything in the app through the UI. So and then the UI uses the controller to access different parts of the app behind the scenes. So for example, the controller will, once the app is opened, the UI will display a map. That map will need to be populated with ATMs. That will call the ATM or show ATMs operation in the controller class, which will then call the data access object show to get ATMs based on a location that was passed in from the user or from the UI. That will then return all of the local ATMs. These are the classes that define the ATM and the user. This is the sequence diagram for what I've just described. Basically, user calling, once they open the app, they get nearby ATMs. UI then calls the controller. Controller then calls the data access object, which then continually gets loops around and gets all of the ATMs that are nearby. Once an ATM has been selected by the user, they can choose to navigate to it. Most of the navigation is done through the controller class. So the user will choose an ATM through the UI and select navigate. The controller will then get the information from the ATM through the data access object, or the location of the ATM through the data access object, and then create a route and then display that route to the user as well. The user can also register if they want to update information about an ATM. So for example, or if they want to add information about the ATM as well. So to register, the user will open the app, and the UI will just have an option for registering, which will then call the controller class to add the user, call the data access object, and then that data access object will then update the user database with the new login details. And that's the end of my presentation.